Australian expert on these animals.
Marine reptiles' remains have been found on every continent, particularly those of plesiosaurs. Up to 46 feet in length, they were magnificent ocean-dwelling reptiles that flew gracefully through the water with 4 massive paddles. The order Plesiosauria was large and varied. It's been broadly divided into 2 superfamilies based on their overall body structure. Some of them, thanks to their large heads and powerful short necks, were the super predators of their time, like Kronosaurus. Others were the complete opposite, with tiny heads at the end of extra long necks, such as Elasmosaurus. Plesiosaurs lasted as long as the dinosaurs, until the end of Cretaceous, 65 million years ago.
The late Cretaceous is the very last period of the Mesozoic era, and it is the age of mosasaurs. The land masses of the Earth have nearly reached their present positions. The interior seas of the Americas retreat, but Europe is still partly covered by shallow waters.
And what about the climate?
Very comparable to the climate of today, but warmer. A beautiful day for a dip in the Cretaceous Ocean, don't you think? As has been the case for millions of years, mollusks are still a favorite meal for most predators.
So the plesiosaurs are still around in the Cretaceous?
Indeed, there are some, but they are no longer at the top of the ocean's food chain, a place now disputed by the 2 greatest predators of this era. In this corner, the largest fish of the Cretaceous, a 23-foot-long shark. And in this corner, the most powerful marine reptile, the prognathodon, a 40-foot mosasaur.
It looks just like a great white of today.
Indeed, just larger.
But the shark is never going to measure up to that.
We can't be too sure. You see, it has a distinct edge over its opponent. The shark doesn't need to come up to the surface to breathe, so...
I told you the mosasaur was going to win.
This time, yes.
But it wasn't always the case. We've even found shark teeth embedded in mosasaur bones. So the sharks did get their teeth into them from time to time.
By the way, wasn't it a mosasaur that was found in a mine back in the 18th century?
Here we are, very close to the mine where the famous unknown animal of Maastricht was found around 1770. Like all paleontologists, Olivier Rippel knows this story very well.
In 1795, when the fossilized mosasaur of Maastricht arrived in Paris, Georges Cuvier was a young 26-year-old anatomist who had just started working there at the Museum of Natural History. This skull was the first great fossil ever to be thoroughly studied by scientists who found it quite difficult to classify this creature. But it was Georges Cuvier who would provide the solution based on comparative anatomy. The reptile from the Meuse River, the mosasaur, was a giant sea lizard, a close relative of the monitor lizards. But this species became completely extinct before the dawn of time. And so, the mosasaur helped to support Cuvier's hypothesis that several universal cataclysms occurred on Earth in the distant past. And thanks in part to this large animal, Georges Cuvier is recognized today as the father of paleontology.
At the end of the Cretaceous, the interior seaway running through the middle of North America had not yet completely disappeared.
So there are sharks on the other side of the Atlantic as well.
In addition to marine reptiles, they are found in all the oceans. Contrary to dinosaurs, marine animals don't have any borders. These are young 13-foot-long sharks. After hours of laying her eggs on the beach, this turtle is exhausted.
Easy prey for starving sharks.
Ah, but they are not alone.
A mosasaur.
This large predator truly is the marine equivalent of the famous T-Rex. The mosasaur will become the last ruler of the ancient seas. This is one of its teeth. It's for you. Without fossils, no one would have ever dreamed that there were successive epochs in the formation of the Earth.